Hello everyone, thank you for joining in. It's the 14th of February 2015. I hope you have also seen the wall of the group and the page. Yes, we do maintain a fan page and a group with the same name, Online Lightworkers Oasis. And yes, it does seem a bit quiet out there. Yes, we had to shift the timing, so sorry for that. There were tech stuffs involved, and of course, Valentine's Day and Saturday. So people are having guests at their place, and it's 9 p.m. here as I'm recording right now. So thank you for your amazing yes to the learning more about wealth. As you're aware, this is the second of the orientation lecture. I was guided to organize a 7-part lecture. Even I was not aware of that it would be a 7-part lecture, but I was nudged for that. So here we are. Yes, the entire class would be uploaded at YouTube as well. So right now, if you want to make notes, you can make notes, or we can just relax, listen, and allow. It is important that you have listened to the first part of the orientation series that's available at our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, you can search Narmada space Akshat, spelled as Narmada space AKSHAT. So when you search like that, you will find our channel, and remember to subscribe to the channel as well. So the part 2, building up on the part 1 lecture, and also to tell you that we have also finished the step 1, the entire spiritual wealth transmission series in January, and this month in Feb we'll be doing with the mental wealth. So this particular orientation lecture is a bit of combination of the spiritual wealth and the mental wealth. To submit your names to participate in the mental wealth, it is important that you go through the spiritual wealth transmission series first. Many of you wanted to join in. To many of you, I suggested them to start with the physical body alchemy, the multi-body alchemy series first. And few of you, I said a quick yes. It all depends upon your personal energy, if it is able to handle that kind of information and energy or not. Sometimes it's just too much. Just to show an example, that when I uploaded this video of the spiritual wealth, the first orientation, there were immediately 4 subscribers going down. They unsubscribed. I didn't take it personally. Of course, it's everyone's choice, but it really showed how people are still not able to connect the oneness of spirit and matter, the oneness of business and spirituality, the holiness, basically, the sacred beingness of matter itself, because a lot of us have been brought up in the extreme right-handed pathways, and, thinking something which is matter to be one with source is drastically a new concept for many of us. When my mentors talked to me about this, it was a new concept for me, no doubt, but by and by, I continued to heal the split. Okay, so here we are for the orientation lecture. As I said, it will be a mix of a bit of spiritual wealth information and the mental wealth. So the class might go a bit longer, not so sure. So I'm just looking at the curriculum that was set up here. Okay, so all before that, let's close our eyes and invoke for divine blessings to the Supreme Essence, Divine Father and Divine Mother, our spiritual teachers, all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, holy saints, holy archangels, holy angels, beings of light, and all the great, great ones. We humbly invoke for divine guidance, divine love, illumination, divine oneness, abundance, peace, prosperity, spirituality, harmony, inner healing, divine help, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. Taking a full deep breath. Visualizing a beautiful golden flame in your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is present just beneath the belly button. This is a chakra where the ego took special interest. It is a chakra of money, sex, and power. And all these three areas of life were considered as not so holy. Or abusive somehow. So bring your awareness into sacral chakra, visualizing a golden flame, a golden fiery flame, sparkling in your sacral center. As you hear this chant and the language of light, you visualize that the sacred flame is moving to the sacral energy center, expanding and recalibrating your body, preparing your body for this information and light. As said before in the previous webinars, even the words that we talk about, or the informal transmissions I like to call it as, these are still very powerful. Okay? So the thing is, the transmission begins right at the moment you step into the energy of the class. With your eyes still closed, your task is just to hold that golden fiery flame. Let it be expanded through your cells, through your beingness. If a bit of pain occurs, just allow it to flow through. If memories come up, allow them to flow through. Alright? Zamoria, Zamoria. This chant connects you with the ancient calling of your soul. It tends to reactivate the memories of your soul, unlocking the archives of love, wisdom, and power gathered by the soul in different timelines. Myaro Senyor Jamasta koresi shisti kara Ijamura se shisele sishimokwa Mozana yastora sa shistika Oza yesti kara so shutukwa. The language of light comes directly from pure source energy. It is not even a language, so to speak, because one word has many meanings. In fact, one vowel, almost like Sanskrit, one word has many, many meanings to it. It's connected with the celestial sound, celestial light, and that is the reason it feels familiar by the body, to the soul. It activates something and we all sense it. Mojara sishistikara, Ishamana sushistikala, Wayestoro soshustukwa. From the heart of God, we now invoke a pink grid of light surrounding the entire group. Feel the entire group surrounded by this beautiful pink flame of love. Feel the entire body as well surrounded by this pink flame of love. And as you spend time inside this portal of light, allow your consciousness to be transformed, to be open more and more to love, to the ultimate power of the universe, the inherent wisdom of the universe. Take a deep breath. Visualize green roots of light coming through your soles of your feet and the perineum. Feel the roots going deeper and deeper, at least 3 meters or 10 feet. Feel the roots developing tertiary and secondary roots. Feel yourself fully connected to earth, to your body. Bring your entire consciousness into your spine. Feel entire consciousness wrapping up around your spine and opening your eyes. So here we are, prepared, set. Okay, and more before we go through. At this time, that is 14th of Feb, it's 9:14 right now, as I just said that, at 9:14 p.m. here in India. So 14th of Feb, we offered a free gift of the first Angel 101 class. That's the first class about angels. That is available for free for download at our Oasis page and the group. The next thing is, as you're aware, on the 24th of Feb is the birthday of Oasis. It shall be almost 5 years now, playing and working with all of you in the field. Very transforming, very learning. And I shall continue to work as long as I am guided. So, on the 24th of Feb, I was planning for something special. And as you're aware that the very entry of the Oasis, to understand the very core of the philosophy of Oasis, how to work with the energies, we created last year a physical, mental, emotional alchemy series. So, in order to promote that, and of course to help you on that, we are offering a super discount. I'm not so sure if that would be offered again, and such discount has never been offered before. So the discount offer is there at the page and the group. Please do check out the page after the event to know about the super discount. The discount is only applicable until the 24th of Feb. That is from 14th of Feb today until the 24th of Feb. So that's about it. Okay, so the mental wealth. The first month of the journey, we work with the spiritual wealth. I guess how many of you? I guess 8 of you signed up live to co-create in the archetype of wealth. So I'd be bringing in some points from that workshop, that 9-day workshop, and adding to some of what is going to come ahead in the mental wealth. So, spiritual energy. If you ever have noticed the phenomena of evaporation, the phenomena of how ice transforms into water, water transforms into water vapor transforms into rain, and the cycle continues. In a similar manner, everything in the universe is like that. It can be evaporated, it can be melted down, and it can be densified or solidified. The similar process is with the secret of manifestation, where you are trying to manifest. You see, when you change your mind too much about wanting to manifest something, that kind of creates a fluctuation. And it's good that we have a buffer zone, we have a resistance where whatever thing doesn't manifest immediately. There are exceptions, beings like Satya Sai Baba. Okay, these are very highly evolved masters who are able to kind of be very much connected with Source. And the truth is, the more and more you raise your vibrations, the faster your manifestations become. You have heard a lot of stories about manifestations in my personal life as well, and I'm very much sure you might have heard about these stories in your own life, or someone who is very vibrating at a high frequency. They may not be so-called religious or spiritual, but their frequency vibrates a lot into the frequency of love. So taking a deep breath. During the entire session, I'll be asking you to take deep breaths regularly. It's to help you to absorb the information much more easily. I hope you're not listening to this call while driving or operating heavy machinery, because all the subtle energy, it is still very palpable, very strong, and you are listening to this class especially in the garden, or and at least in a place where you will not be disturbed. Okay. So the different worlds, so to speak, have different frequency. We have a physical world, right? We do have a physical world where we see each other, we touch the objects, we smell, we have the five senses, right? The physical five senses. Now there's something beyond the physical sense. People call it sixth sense, or sometimes even seventh sense, whatever they call it. It's basically a recognition of something higher, something above, something incomprehensible by the logical mind and by the normal five senses. I recently read some articles about scientists trying to measure the weight of the soul, and some were successful, but it cannot come up with a sufficient what do you call that, conclusion, because soul and topics like that are too subtle. These belong to a much rarefied type of matter. Taking a deep breath. I'm trying my best to communicate. Okay. Rarefied matter. How to explain that? We have physical state, liquid state, gaseous state. The gaseous is more rarefied than the liquid. The liquid is more rarefied than the physical, right? So in the same manner, there are other states of matter. Scientists have been able to call them as plasma and ions and others, but there's still many, many more. When you do regular meditation, when you choose to vibrate in the frequency of love and service often, you begin to tap into that inner world. For example, those of you who are participating in the 21-day offline ritual, the 21-day offline distant transmissions of light and love, many of you feeling the transformation. Few of you reported that you're feeling a lesser need to eat, more energized. For me as well, my diet has gone more down in terms of the physical food, but my body still feels very strong. And I just do not feel any need to sleep beyond 6 to 7 hours. Okay. Previously there was more of a need to sleep. So what is happening is somehow we together are tapping into the what do you call that? We are tapping into the invisible world somehow. Taking a deep breath. Taking a deep breath once again. So we have a physical world, and then we have the nether world. People call it the realm of the dead, or the place when we dream or when we die, we reach there. That's a higher form of matter. And then we have something known as Devachan, or a place people call it heavens, where there's no sorrow and the soul always feels nice and good all the time, right? It is not my intention to confuse you with the map of the world, but I'm simply trying to communicate to you the idea of how spiritual energy is the foundation for everything. Everything, I mean not only your faith, your health, but literally your bank accounts, your career, everything. Okay. So I would like you to imagine a circle in front of you, and you name the circle as the physical world, and create another concentric ring, a circle around a circle. You call it the astral world, and create another one around both of them, the physical and the astral, a mental world, and create another one around it, and you create a causal world. And the rings can go on and on and on and on. But today our task is just the causal world. Let's call it the spiritual world, although it's not accurate to call it like that, but let's call it the spiritual world. So you see in your mind's eye that the spiritual world literally embodies. It is not layer by layer like cakes, like sandwiches. It is more like one thing which is more rarefied inside, which is more densified. For example, if there is a bottle of glass, you put inside some sand, some dry leaves, you fill it up, and still you will have space for the air. So you can say that air is the subtler world interpenetrating, mark the words, interpenetrating the lower worlds, the denser worlds. When I say the word lower, I don't mean it's bad, it's just the frequency. Okay? So in the same manner, the spiritual world encompasses everything. But the interesting thing is, one world is influenced by the other world. Or in other manner, you have heard a lot about the soul influencing the body, the energy, and how healing can happen when there's more soul energy flowing through, right? But even it's the other way around. So whatever you do physically, some call it karma, some call it service, some call it even, I'm referring to the good karma here. And when you talk about so-called bad karma, there's hurting others consciously or unconsciously, right? So those physical acts, service or disservice, tends to go back into the soul world. So you can say your physical body belongs to the physical world. And in the same manner, you have an astral body that belongs to the astral world. And you have a mental body that belongs to the mental world. And you have a soul that belongs to the spiritual world. But at the same time, just like in the example of the bottle of glass and the sand and air, it is everywhere. So you're not essentially a body with a soul, but you're actually a soul with a body, with a mind. Mind is the most powerful instrument of the soul, but still, soul is more powerful than mind itself. Taking a deep breath. These concepts we usually do not talk about it at public because of the, as you see, a bit of complicated nature to try to understand. If we're unable to understand it, doesn't matter, you can replay the MP3. Okay, I'm referring to those who are listening offline. So, and do call upon angels to help you understand it, because once you understand it, you are able to understand how the energy works, how the energy functions. So, the spiritual energy is the foundation of everything, including your bank accounts and career, including your health, your faith, your relationships, your mind. The more the spiritual energy flows through harmoniously, the more there is healing in your body, in your heart, in your mind. During this Valentine's time, people sometimes, open up to a lot of sadness, especially those of you who are sensitive or single. And sometimes you wonder, throughout the entire year I'm not so sad about it, but why now? Because possibilities that, as part of your service work, you might have absorbed into the mass consciousness of the need to be fulfilled by the other person. As you allow yourself to be connected more and more with your soul, everything starts to heal. Remember what Christ said. He said, by the fruit you shall know them, in terms of referring to teachers and teaching. So the thing is, that particular teacher, whoever you want to work with, one of the, I would use the word, grossest way to know if it is safe, it is okay to work with the teacher or not, is to look into their life. How is their wealth? How is their health? How is their heart? How is their mind? Are they human enough? Or are they trying to suppress the human feelings in the name of spirituality? What is going on? And how do they deal with it? When they accept emotions and feelings, do they allow it to run over them, or accept, embrace, and alchemize it? Take a deep breath. So this is one of the reasons why we, in the first step of the 2-year series, we decided that it would be the spiritual wealth coming up as the first, instead of the material or financial wealth that would be coming way, way, way down the road, because we want to establish the foundation. As you know, wealth, as we're talking about here, is not just about money or abundance and prosperity, but it's really, really, really about bliss, intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, creativity, health, and so much more. It goes beyond it. In the Hindu tradition, the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, is referred to with the 8 forms of Lakshmi. So some of her forms are like who are able to provide you with power, who are able to provide you with money, who are able to provide you with grace, with luxury, and on and on and on. It's like a deeper study of the energy of Lakshmi. Take a deep breath. In fact, the very word Lakshmi is derived from the word Laksha. Laksha meaning aiming. In other words, when you wish to manifest something in your life, you have to be crystal clear. You have to be laser focused as to what you want. And then the good idea that you can do in your prayers or visualization, whatever you do, is to offer it to the universe and say, this or something better. That's like a safety program. So the more cut and clear your consciousness is, the more cut and clear your aura is, the more arranged, organized your consciousness is, the more you are able to manifest very, very, very rapidly, not only for yourself, but also in terms of your life purpose, as to the calling that you receive as a soul. It could be working for the children, maybe manifesting a home for your family, maybe manifesting a certain lifestyle, maybe manifesting more comfort for your parents, if you think that that is required. So the sharper or the clearer your energy fields are, much more rapidly you would be able to manifest things in your life, whatever you want. At the same time, you will have a much more clearer perception. Perception is more like, if you are driving the four-wheelers, you have the windshield, right? If it's not clear, you can have accident, and that's what happens with most of the people. Their subtle bodies are not so clarified, and that's why we say do meditation, do this, do that. And I'm so happy to tell you that, we have the alchemy series starting from the physical until the mental, to work with all those lower bodies to help you become more arranged, more organized, extremely rapidly, if you allow to bring forth more clarity. Okay? So taking a deep breath. So when you have this kind of mental wealth, this clarity, you are a great contribution to the divine plan. Sometimes people say, God has no plan, but just be love. Of course, you as a soul, you have no mission. Your purpose is just to be love. But we know in our hearts that there is a specific calling that all of you right here in the class have. For some of you, you want to work for the children. For some of you, you want to write books. For some of you, want to know more of the universe. For some of you, you want to do some kind of work in the field of science that can influence mankind's lifestyle, almost like inventing electricity. Inventing electricity was not the only invention that transformed mankind. There were many more, like say the internet, things like that. So in your very soul, you do have a calling. And sometimes people say, well, I don't know, what do I want to do? I have no hobbies. When you say that your hobbies are a good indicator of your life purpose, my suggestion, practice regular meditation. Practice at least for the 21 days the Portal of Grace MP3 uploaded at YouTube. and keep us updated. Regardless of how bad or how unworthy your ego might say that you are in order to receive a special plan, a specific work from the divine, I challenge you to go with the 21 days of Portal of Grace meditation regularly. Some of you might say, well, I don't understand English. So simply go ahead with the transmission then. If you understand English, you go with the Lakshman transmission. But if you don't understand English, just go ahead with the transmission. You can skip to the MP3 and come directly to transmission. Do it for 21 days. Because words are just formality. And by and by, there would be more clarity. There would be more receptivity. And of course, if in your heart you are called to work with other methods, that's fine. You can go ahead with that. Take a deep breath. So this profound mental wealth, this profound clarity basically opens up the doorway or the knowledge to create health, wisdom, bliss, intelligence, dexterity, creativity, literally the creative juices to want to experiment more regarding your limits. Allowing mental wealth to flow through your consciousness, mark the words that I'm using, allowing mental wealth to flow through your consciousness allows you to be a powerful servant of the divine. So you may not be thinking about being a spiritual teacher. Maybe the ego says, oh, you cannot do it, or it would be egoistic. That's not a problem, but definitely if you are here, you want to be of service. Imagine, as simple as, you want to come here to the webinar. You use your knowledge. Sometimes people say, oh, my mind is a block, but mind has a part to it. I like to embrace everything in how we work. We never like to block or judge any aspect of the human nature, of humanity itself. Take a deep breath. So even to come to the webinar, you require a bit of knowledge of the computer. You require a bit of knowledge of the internet, how to connect to it, use the right buttons, go to the right icons, and sign up here. Even if you're listening to YouTube, you require knowledge. That knowledge is able to help you to access this class. Sometimes people ask me, how does so much of knowledge flow through you? Of course, in the beginning years, there were the bridges built. You can say a bit of that. A lot of those bridges were burned down because I was an extreme right-handist. And I realized it's not working out that efficiently. And I ended up bringing up with the goal of love and service as a focus of our work. So, so you can also say that is also a mental wealth. Mental wealth also comprises intuition, your logic, your ability to do basic mathematics, understand the sacred geometry, understand regular geometry, understand your accounts, understand a book, understand a lecture. And your mental wealth is also about enhancing your intuitive wealth, what many call as the sixth sense or seventh sense. So that you can say that wealth starts to pour in, and you start to become a very strong, very powerful, grounded, rooted instrument of the light. And as you continue to work on it, you'll be surprised that so many of the people around you will want to learn from you. This I can say firsthand from experience and many of my friends. Those family members would say, oh, you live in your own imaginary world. There are no fairies, there are no angels, and this and that. But as they found that the person transformed, sometimes even without the use of traditional psychological counseling or medical help, it is profound to see the power of it. Basically, the Wealth series of the 2 years is to develop more of resourcefulness It's like you can say spiritual human resource management. It's like a where we are reflecting back to you through transmissions and lectures that it is possible to enhance your resourcefulness, not because you would become more deserving or worthy, simply because you would be of more help to people. No, but it's more about realizing your true worth, realizing your true potential. Basically, that's what turns me on, the infinite potential. I remember when I started to do energy healing on myself, being able to heal minor ailments to major ailments of myself and others. I thought, how about working in a group? And then there were some of the do's and don'ts of the energy healing schools. And then I said, how about if we transcend that? I was always about, what about next? What about next? What about next? What about next? It's basically about the expansion of the beingness, how powerful, how multidimensional you can be by allowing yourself through the power of surrender to the divine, whatever you call it, to flow through you like Krishna's flute. It's hollow and empty. So I hope this gives you a bit of the sneak peek into the world of the mental wealth. And if this lecture didn't make much sense, I recommend that you listen to it again. And I have tried to use as simple words as possible, because we have the masses in the mind that anyone can, understand it through first go. And once again, going to the part 1 orientation series uploaded at YouTube is highly, highly, highly recommended. Let's go ahead with the light language and soul song transmission to help to recalibrate the human DNA with sound and light and power. Let's create our sound and to anchor more of infinite potential. Few of you might go through headaches or detox. People have different kind of detox symptoms. If that happens, call upon your healing angels every night to help you. Tune into your body, in silence, and just ask your body, what do you need? Body, do you want more rest? Body, your body will communicate to you. In the world that we live, we are really encouraged to communicate outside, cell phones, applications, internet, other people, but not many focus on going within. Someone asked me at Facebook a few days back, I would like to know about self-love. And I replied that self-love is a very sacred word. It's too sacred a word to be explained in a comment. And that was also a kind of reminding to me that, yes, there are people on our planet, including our family and friends, who don't know the concept of self-love, who just don't understand. When they hear about love, it's about animals, it's about others, but not about them. And they connect it with selfishness. And that is not true. Self-love is not selfishness. And this is something that we would be connecting in the Emotional Wealth series that will be coming up in March. All right. So enough of the talking. Allowing yourself to lie down or sit comfortably in your meditation cushion or the chair. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed. This transmission is intended to expand the boundaries of the mind. So, as I said, some people might go through a detox, but even to the level of the energy sensitivity, if you were not trained by me personally, and you find that your intuitive abilities are suddenly shooting up, you have become too sensitive to be in public, etc., 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 then stop listening to this part 2. Because right now I don't have enough time to help you to know, how to balance that. Of course, you can use the royal pepper light all the time of Archangel Michael to shield you. You simply have to visualize it, or any of the being of light that you work with, Shiva, Shakti, anyone. But if you feel that there's some kind of discomfort after this transmission, which is a bit possible, then please call upon your healing angels before going to sleep to help you with healing. And if you find there's like an emotional roller coaster ride or other things that were past and you thought they were healed, they start to come up in your dream. Sometimes people get scared of that and they don't do the transmissions anymore, and that's fine. But the nature of these transmissions is to literally go to the root of 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 the issue and bring forth into the surface, And so as always we say when the contrast comes up we recommend that you should celebrate the contrast as it is on its way out. I, for myself, have been working a lot for a long time on the pattern of self-sabotage, and I know it's still there, and I'm judging myself about it, simply recognizing it. When you recognize something, when you name something, when you have a knowledge of something, it becomes less scary, even to the point where it no longer holds power over you. Okay? So for those of you who might go through the contrast, this note was for them. And of course, please drink lots of water, regular water, fresh water, if possible a lot of raw stuff. Personally, my body is guiding me to go more on raw these days. But tune into your own body. Your body knows the best. I really don't like to talk about vegetarianism and non-vegetarianism, although I used to, but I no longer talk about such. Love and service. Your consciousness, your inner teacher knows the best. All right? So, allowing yourself to close your eyes. Do not expect anything from the transmission. You may want to simply hear it as hearing anything that is regular. Today we have beings from the Pleiades and the being from Antares, one of the brightest stars in the nighttime sky. We're not alone in this galaxy. There are so many beings, multidimensional beings, even star beings. The transmissions are powerfully encoded by using their extremely advanced, we can call it computer or holographic technology, to infuse into our DNA, our ascension chakra. Some of you might sense that your body is vibrating. Some of you might sense your body has gone numb. Some of you might sense your body is up in the air, while some may feel nothing, go into blank, may totally pass out. Whatever happens, happens. What we need is your yes. We celebrate your yes. It's a stream of pure sapphire blue and white light pouring through. And gold. Nuyazor, Nuyazor, the bright sapphire blue white light entering your third eye, flooding into your body, allowing your soul to re-anchor and reactivate the parts of your soul which were unhealed, the parts of your soul which were suppressed, and to bring forth into pure light, activating your resourcefulness, the next level of your mental wealth, of the understanding of the universe, of life itself. Nom Dari Nikatorai Zoina Sor Ishedor Damaki Ishedor Damaki Sonaitaro O Sonatira O. Those of you clairvoyants, you're able to see our brothers and sisters of the stars, sometimes even ancestors, and DNA being recoded. The part of the DNA which scientists refer to as the junk DNA is not junk at all. It is just dormant, waiting for enough energy to be activated. Moisharolta Rinarostai Zoyai. Deep breaths. Visualizing yourself inside a vast white hall of pure marble, shimmering marble light. Noticing how this place is filled with pure light. Your cells feel safe to open up. In the presence of the high beings of light. And so are you, a high being of light, not a mere mortal, not someone who is only influenced by the physical forces of nature. You are a multidimensional high being, a high priest, a high priestess in the temple of all that is. Zamortari. On behalf of the group, I now call forth the deeper anchoring and activation of the qualities of the soul star group that you come from. Please repeat together. I, the soul, allow myself to be deeply anchored and activated for the qualities of my soul star group. I allow myself to expand to my soul star group. I, the soul, allow these qualities to flow through, to help me manifest my life purpose on this planet. I, the soul, request all that is. May my focus always remain in love. May I always be inspired by the heart of the divine, beyond dogmas, beyond limiting patternings and beliefs coming from previous teachings, experiences, ancestors, or ego-based belief systems. I call forth the permanent anchoring of these soul star beings with me in this lifetime to continue to guide me on my pathway of love, of reuniting with Source. Take a deep breath. It's like in your DNA there are white starry diamond crystals activated. Many of you will continue to experience the anchoring and activation for the next many months, indeed. To anchor this transmission and all the transmissions of the Oasis, meditate on the words love and service. And you're well on your way to the integration of the I am that I am. Visualizing the beings of light, opening any and all the cord locks. The cord locks are basically contracts that are anchored around your throat chakra, which kind of keep your mouth shut for being too nice and sweet all the time, and not to let flow the power, the knowledge of the higher realms. Visualize these beings infusing a beautiful golden key of light into your throat, the Adam's apple area, and opening this cord lock to the degree which you are prepared, which is most easy and graceful for you. It shall be opened. Do not go ahead in requesting to open all of it. Surrender and allow. Simply opening a few of the knots of this cord locks is life transforming. And by as you continue, your throat chakra expands and upgrades, allowing a deeper anchoring of the soul flow into your body and into your life itself. Muya zonai zatorai anuzamor Esta nazori nazai madoyano Zametana yista konia onyaro Mestalia ho Mestalia ho. Feel the tingling vibrations coming through the tip of the fingers and the toes. Feel these buzzing vibrations, these waves of light, these particles of light together, entering your hands, your legs, coming into torso and your head, your entire body buzzing with this new energy configuration. I'm going to remain quiet as we continue to allow the new anchorings to be activated. On behalf of the group, I request that these shall be activated to the point where it is most graceful for all of you. Let go. I'm going to go in silence. Taking a full deep breath. Bring all of your consciousness back to your spine. Wrap it up around your spine. Notice how our body responds. Is the body burping? Or is the body wants to go to sleep? The transmissions that have been done today extremely powerful and will continue to influence very, very palpably for many days and weeks ahead. Some of you might continue to feel that buzzing for a longer time. Taking a full deep breath. Visualizing a green flame surrounding the entire group, your entire body. Green, Mother Nature's energy. Ethereal, light green energy, like that of the new leaf. A light green energy. Deep breaths. Anchoring today's transmission deeply, permanently, gracefully. Joy, ease, and grace, and so it is. Actually moving your fingers and your toes to the Supreme Essence, Divine Father, Divine Mother, our spiritual teachers, all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, holy saints, holy archangels, holy angels, beings of light, and all the great, great ones. We thank you all for your priceless blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With a deep in-breath, you may want to open your eyes, blinking at first, having a fuzzy focus in the beginning, and then being aware of the room. Does the room look bigger or smaller? Do the objects look more colorful, more sharper? Be very aware of the multidimensional magic, and we highly recommend you that you write down your private journal. I would love to hear your feedback. I may not respond in the same amount of words, but know that it means a lot to me. If you are following me at YouTube, then feel free to drop me a message at YouTube. If you're not on Facebook, I'd love to hear the feedback. And thank you so much for joining in. And once again, don't forget the offer. So if you think it's in your soul, it's a calling that, oh, there's something I want, this is a wonderful opportunity to sign up for those classes. If you think that you don't have time, you can still buy it and save it for later use. For those of you who have done the mental alchemy, physical, emotional, mental, and you are thinking about the 40-day journey, this is a wonderful time to gift yourself something. And above all of that, doing the logistics and the so-called spiritual business, meditate on the words love and service. And I hope to keep offering the distant transmissions and more. And yes, one more thing. Tomorrow we are having the fundraiser for January. We gather together to generate funds for the software and for the service work that we provide. So that's again at Oasis. That's a live channeling with Archangel Michael. It's a non-denominational event. So happy Valentine's, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. We are ending up right up 10-4. Very interesting, the number 4 and 1 coming up pretty strongly. So I hope to see you around soon, and be yourself, be in love, be love, and ask the divine to reveal itself, himself, herself, whatever you refer as the divine, to you as pure love consciousness. A sincere asking is really answered. Remember that. This MP3 will be uploaded on YouTube, possibly tonight as I go to sleep, or maybe tomorrow morning. Anyways, thank you so much for joining in, everyone. I'm going to unmute you all. I'm not so sure how many it will allow me. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed night. Thank you. Bye. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone.